All right, cool. Well, damn. So what do you think about the game? Is it like
I
kind of
mean,
grindy Borderlands-ish or like
it's challenging, which is good. Some of the aspects I think is kind of broken, like kind of busted on
yeah,
in favor
I
of the
definitely
computer.
agree there. Definitely agree there.
Because like yeah, having some of that stuff in favor of the computer is just so goddamn stupid. Like it baffles me. But I mean, for the most part, it's not too bad as long as you kind of think about stuff and not just like run in and just start swinging.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think I need to change up the classes and get a broader perspective or how all the hit points work, how enemies work. Just doing this whole thing as Stabby Elf, I think that is what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, stab you off because you got to get in order. I think for yeah, because you got in order to do max damage, you got to backstab people, which is why you stealth. But then
Yeah, and you're literally right up in there and you can't dash out of there in time.
yeah, so I mean the other ones like the barbarian, he does like ground hits and like it like does shockwaves, so it does like multiple
Hmm.
hits, which is nice.
Okay.
The dwarf, if you actually shield slam people, it makes them dizzy and it spins them around, so you can start fucking whacking them from the back too.
Okay. Okay.
But pretty much they tend to like the dwarf attacks a lot slower and his range is a lot shorter. So sometimes like you'll hit somebody out of range and you're like, then you got to kind of dash forward a little bit and then start swinging again. So there's that, and
Okay.
then um,
More timing.
yeah, it's just kind of seeing where like just figuring out the range and stuff like that. But the barbarian, yeah, you're just swinging around like an idiot, pretty much.
Spin in
So
a circle with a hammer.
yeah, for the most part, like his ult when you activate it, if you just hold down the fish attack, he spins
Oh no shit. Okay.
like really
Okay.
fast.
Washing machine with a sledgehammer.
Pretty much,
Perfect.
pretty much.
Awesome.
But yeah, I mean,
All
I'm
right.
I'm I'm actually quite enjoying the game, surprisingly.
Yeah, I'm surprised by this too. Like the reviews were in the trash. I mean, 2.5 stars. I mean, it's everyone's like, oh, it's so buggy, it's so glitchy. But I mean, like, yeah, it kind of is. But you can work with that.
And I mean, at the same time, it's free on Game Pass, so like you're complaining about a free game. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, to me, it's like, yeah, if the game is jacked up and it's free, it's like, well, okay, I didn't have to pay for it; it's free.
Mm,
So yeah,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
give it, I'll give it slightly bad reviews, but I'm not gonna like trash it to the point where it's just like But if you paid for it, and then yeah, okay, I can kind of see it if it frustrates you. But
Hmm.
with it being free on Game Pass, like you can't really complain about it. It was like people, it was like some of the guys that were complaining about Outriders, because it
Oh
was free
yeah,
on Game
yeah.
Pass. I was like, but it's fucking free. Like you, unless you pre-ordered it, then yeah, you could have a gripe. But then most times it was like a lot of the reviews from like Xbox players and a lot of people are like, you got it for free. And some of them are like,
Hmm.
I paid for it. It's like, okay, well, then you can have a little bit of a gripe. But, if you didn't pay for it and you got it for free, you got it for free. Everybody else should have a gripe because everybody else had to pay for it, regardless.
Yes.
Like, so I
Well,
guess,
Outriders was a day one release too on the Game Pass, wasn't it?
yeah,
Well, there you go.
that's why. So, like, guys were pre ordering it because of the gear that was supposed to come with it, but the gear was utter garbage. But then I
Oh,
think
absolutely.
even I think the ones that got it free still got it anyway, so it didn't freaking matter. So there's like yeah, so most guys would take like Xbox play like nothing against Xbox players, but most guys are taking the complaints from Xbox players in stride because it's just like free. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
nobody else got it for free. So yeah, quit bitching. Like you got it for free.
Yeah, I mean, like, with the whole like Xbox using the EA Game Pass also. I mean, like, is this their out? I mean,
Maybe,
Andromeda, Mass Effect, that was a hot mess, but it still worked. Kind of,
kind of.
kind of.
Yeah.
Later, much later. I mean, like, they can probably take the same play in that book and then just run with it. But
Yeah, but see, all in all,
we'll
for
see.
April. April, May, June. Yeah, so all in all, like from the time of the release of Outriders, it
Hmm.
did take them roughly about like 3 months to kind of flesh
That's
out.
about right, though.
Yeah, to
I
kind of
mean,
flesh
like
out
from
everything.
beta testing to like pre-orders to ironing everything out once it goes live.
So I mean, yeah, it's 3 months, and they did do a lot of. Why did the music cut back in again? What the hell? Oh, I've been kicked. That's why. Whatever. But yeah, for all the updates they've been doing, they've actually gotten better with like the drop rates. A lot. They fixed a lot of the bugs that were happening. So I mean, I can't really complain. Like, some people just. It's one of those things. People just want it now. I want it now. It has to work
Oh
now.
yeah.
And I'm not giving all like gaming companies passes because some people are just like this is like the norm now, and it kind of is. Don't get me wrong,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
then you kind of look at Bethesda as like the prime example. Like
Oh yeah.
they always release
76. Oh my god.
like Fallout 76, even Skyrim. Skyrim from day one, so many bugs. Like especially on the PS4, it was
Hmm.
or the PS3, it was an exponential size increase to your save. So it would literally break the game where it wouldn't
Hmm.
load because you'd start off at like it's like okay, it's about a gig, fine. And then as you unlock more stuff, it just kept going up more and more and more. And it was like it took them like a month or two after the fact to patch that. But it's just like
Hmm.
that in itself is game breaking because it will crash the game. Like so
Oh,
you,
literally, and screw up your save file too.
yeah. So like again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it generally is a norm now because of DLCs, because of updates versus before where if the game was fucked, the game was fucked. There was like some ways to kind of fix it, but it wasn't, there was no
Yeah.
updates and stuff.
Yeah.
So, they'd have to make sure everything worked. But now people want like even another example like Cyberpunk 2077 that
Oh
went
my
to
god.
shit.
Yeah. Like I was watching all the PlayStation users just like crying heaps, just like I did with Halo. I'm like, I feel you. I
But
feel
no,
you.
but see the thing with it is like because they had delayed it so many times, so many people were getting pissed off at them that I read that even some of the workers were getting death threats from people about why the game wasn't
wor-
coming out.
No.
Yeah. They were targeting the
No.
company because they're like, oh, they kept pushing back the release date. And it was like it's for a fucking reason. It's not
Yeah.
it's not because, we don't know what we're doing. It's because we're trying to flesh it out. And then everybody complained, they released it, and then everything went to shit because of the fact that they released it. Because everybody's like, oh, you gotta fucking release it because we've been waiting for this fucking thing and I want it now. It's like,
Well, and then pre-orders and everything else too. Like they made a promise to the public that it'll be done on this date,
yeah, but even
and
then,
they gave them their money.
yeah, but even then, like if when you think about it, even pre-orders, like you're still guaranteed the item. But do you want a guaranteed working item or do you just want a guaranteed item?
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Because it was like that even before with GameStop when the gaming companies would push stuff back, you could pre-order, you'd go in and then be like, oh, is the game coming out? It's like, oh no, I got delayed. So you're still already set for the pre-order regardless. It doesn't matter. You're already in line. You already are going to get it. It's just it's going to take a little bit longer because they found that something's not working or something went wrong or something like that, and they got to fix it. So, like to me, that's the whole part now. It's like because we're in the digital age where it's like you download the game now, you play it day one. You don't have to go and wait. You don't have to, you don't have to wait for like East Coast time midnight for to get the game and stuff like that like they did before.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Everything is I can download it now, so I want it now. I want everything now. Like, so it's like it baffles me at how much the gaming community as a whole changed. Where you have the old school gamers, that are like like our age, a little bit older, my brother's age, stuff like that. That we understand. Shit happens.
fix the bugs.
If the game gets delayed, it's for a reason. They're not doing it to be a dick. They're not doing it to, do anything or like do something shady. Because most AAA titles are not going to do something like that. Like if you're kickstarting something and then, they kept delaying it and stuff like that, that's shady. Mm-hmm. But
straight up.
But you're with a reputable, you're looking to a reputable company that releases games. It's not their first game. So if delays happen, it's for a reason. Of course, I would be annoyed if some games got delayed, but at the same time it's just like, okay, I understand why it got delayed, or I have an idea of why it got delayed. Because it's if I got a broken game from the get-go and they're like, "Oh no, this is fully done. We're good." I would be annoyed. Don't get me wrong, Outriders, it did annoy me, but for the most part I didn't run into any of the bugs, so I was luckily enough where I didn't have those issues that some people had.
Oh yeah, so, for me I just crashed 2 times on the main bosses for that not even the main boss, the sub boss.
Yeah. But I mean, there's small things.
You saw one of those crashes, but I mean, it's like, okay, whatever. Let's reboot. I can get right back to where I was.
Yeah.
Done deal.
That's why Outriders. It was a grain of salt because of the fact that yes, it was happening to a majority of people, but it was like I didn't experience it. So, of course, I was annoyed that the game wasn't fully fledged out, but at the same time, I can't be mad because I could be mad, but because it wasn't happening to me, I can't really put myself in the shoes of people that it was happening to. So I can't fully get super pissed off like they were.
Well, especially the ones that pre-ordered for $60-$70.
Well, I pre-ordered it on PC. But again, so if you pre-ordered it,
what was the price tag on that though? For me, it was just Xbox Game Pass. Here it is, day 1, download.
I think it was.
I assume they.
Yeah, I think it was 60. It was 60. It was 60 across the board. So, again, don't get me wrong. Because I played the demo, we went through everything. The demo was fine, but then everybody was saying, how come all the stuff was working in the demo when it didn't go to the full game? And I'm sitting there thinking, it's a demo. It has limited capacity on stuff you could do.
Yes.
You couldn't mod gear. You couldn't break stuff down. You couldn't access the bank. You could it was really limited on what you can do. So of course it's not going to have any really major bugs because that's the part that works. Everything was working. The multiplayer side, it can change from the demo to the full-fledged release and stuff like that. But everybody was comparing it to the demo, and it's it's not a full game on the demo. You're getting a small snippet of the game, the beginning section of the game. It was. Yes. It was literally, I think, 5.5 hours for just the demo. It's still a lot to play in the demo, and then you get the full game, and then of course shit can go wrong, but at least they stuck with it and they were trying to of course everybody still complains because they want it now, but again, Outriders, it's one of those. I saw it far and few. I would say Outriders is one of those. It just happened to happen to them, whereas Cyberpunk was the consumer's doing on why it was released all fucked up.
Ooh, okay. Because I know nothing. I'm totally naive about the whole Cyberpunk thing. I'm not a PlayStation dude. I don't know about what's going on there.
No, it was just the fact that because it was across the board. They did apologize because at the E3 releases and the releases they showed for the gameplay, it was set on the PS5. PC and Xbox One, the Xbox One X. So it was optimized. But when they brought it, so they programmed it specifically. I think they did the programming for the PS5 and Xbox One X. But when they went back to the previous one, the PS4 and stuff like that, so many frame drops, everything was fucked because it wasn't optimized for the PS4. It was optimized for next gen because of
what everyone has though. That's what everyone has before the next gen.
Yeah. But that was the thing because of I think in their mind because of the amount of stuff that they're putting in and stuff like that and the fact that the world is that big, I think they wanted to use the next gen consoles specifically for the capabilities of it, so they could push it a little bit harder. But the
So
thing,
it's like a borderline like buy a new console kind of push.
kind of thing, yeah. So they're because like you figure they would try to be like a flagship for the systems, right?
Yeah,
But-
I get that. I get that.
But yeah, going back to the PS4 one, like the quality was shittier and stuff like that versus the PS5, Xbox One versus Xbox One X. But then like so they apologized for that because the footage that they showed again was optimized for the PS5 for the higher end stuff. So what people thought they were getting on the PS4 and the Xbox One, it wasn't the same quality like the PS5 and stuff like that. So they did
There's
get
no
flack
way.
for that. Yeah.
There's
So they-
no way.
So they got a fuck ton of flack for that. And again, it wasn't, you know, they understood that part. Okay, we messed up. They explained everything. Because
Okay.
all the releases and stuff like that they sent to like all the press releases and stuff, they were all the PS5 ones, the PC, Xbox One X
Yes.
footage. So they did own up to that one and said they fucked up. But then coming to light where everything, there's a lot of other broken stuff within the game. Like some characters were still in T poses, not moving around and stuff like that. It was really weird. But a lot of it was coming to light that a lot of the workers, or a good handful of the workers, were getting death threats because they kept pushing it back. So I don't know if it was like fully true, but that's what came out on like Kotaku. That's what came out on a lot of the stuff regarding why they were getting a lot of backlash. And it was like, you know, to me that's more, I would say, the consumer side, because yes, it's an amazing looking game. Yes, you know, I was on that bandwagon when I first saw it. I was like, fuck, I want to get the game. Like, I'm amazed by it.
Yeah.
But-
Me too. I mean, like, actually, like, while you were posting all that on your Facebook, I'm like, dude, I need to get this too.
Yeah, because it looked badass. But again, like that was the other side of it, because again, we're looking in, especially in my mind, your mind, you know, we're not like, you know, unless you get the PS5, the Xbox One X, I'm still thinking in the terms of, okay, this is going to be on the PS4 because they are releasing it on the PS4, so the graphics are going to be, you know, just as good. So yeah, I kind of fell into that too. But at the same time, you know, with the delays and stuff, I was like, okay, you know, shit happens. And again, going back to like how the old school gamers are, where, you know, we've gone through all of this on the PS2, on the PlayStation, like,
Oh my
because
god, yes.
yeah, because again, there's
The
you know,
Dreamcast, the N64, even Sega bombs. I mean, we've,
yeah,
oh my
like
god.
there were
Yeah.
no ways to fix bugs once it got released, for the
Dude,
most
Sonic
part.
and Knuckles, prime example. I mean, oh my god.
Yeah.
It sucked. You almost needed a Game Genie to make that shit work. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
fuck.
again, like the way we look at it, it's like, you know, they're not just pushing it back to push it back to be dicks. Like there
Yes.
is a reason for it, but the culture now is, again, going back to the whole digital age. It's, I want it now. You said you're gonna release it now, and it's like, okay, we're gonna release it, and then you still complain even more because shit's not working right, and we're like, we fucking told you shit wasn't working right. Like, we're not BSing you. Like, so
Well, that also brings up another question. I mean, like, was beta testing not thorough enough? I mean, everyone has their own checks and balances. I mean, like, so if they're gonna release on a certain date, but then they found out, oh shit, things are fucked up, should that beta testing happen sooner?
well,
I mean, like, who does it really fall on? Because, like, I mean,
See,
you
that-
are always gonna find bugs, always 100% of the time.
Yeah.
It's just the timing of it.
yeah, so I mean, certain things, like, it's really hard for because like it could just be like certain you have to do like things in a certain order, or things have to happen like in a certain way for it to happen, and sometimes you can't figure that shit out, like
Yeah, until like XYZ plays out, and then you find another bug.
yeah. And then that's the part too where you fix one bug and you don't know if it's going to cause something else. So that's the part where, you know, they finish. I think they finish the section, they do the beta testing for it as they're working on the next section, and then if they find bugs, they go back and fix it. But
Oh yeah, totally.
that's
Like the way I heard this is like you're playing Sudoku, you're at the very last word, and you find out it doesn't work,
yeah,
and that is beta testing.
Yeah.
But for that word to work, you need to go back 12 steps, and that erases everything, and that's what we're dealing with.
yeah. And you figure how many lines of code that they have to go through, how many different programmers they had, and the fact that COVID was going on. So, everybody was working from home. So that's also the other part that not a lot of people are factoring in. That, yeah, some games came out that, like Phasmophobia is one that I could say. Even like Valheim. It's small groups of guys. Like Phasmophobia is one guy doing it, one person. And then Valheim was 5. But then once they blew up, they started hiring more people. But,
Yeah.
looking at a AAA title because you have the funding for it and because you have so many different people working on it, from the animators to the background workers to, gameplay, how everything works, you have to line everything up, and sometimes it doesn't. And like, if you find a bug, you fix that bug, like you're going through like millions of lines of code, and you got to figure out where the fuck it fucked
millions.
up.
Yeah. That's no joke. Legit millions of lines of code to find like, oh, this capital O should have been a 0.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's that minute. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that crazy.
And that's the funny part too. Even like reading comments about people complaining about broken games like Outriders and like, even Cyberpunk. It's like, oh, why can't they just program it like this and da da da? And everyone's like, you do know it's not that simple, right? It's
yeah.
like, look at Game Jam games where they do like the 1-day programming. Those are like, some of them are really good, but they're really, I would say, if you give the code to like a AAA title, like a AAA like studio, they can break down the code really easily because it's not like, it's still a game, but it's not like a AAA style game. Like some people, they do like old school style, like 8-bit games that still work really well, and that brings nostalgia.
Great shit.
Yeah, but like when you think about that, like the Game Jam games, yes, they put a limitation on it, but it's the ones that know how to do the coding, and there's not much to really have to bug test, because like it's one person doing the entire coding, whereas on a AAA title, you take like Assassin's Creed, you take any AAA title, it's not one person doing the entire programming code, it's a group of people that are doing different sections that have to meet up and mesh together. The puzzle don't fit. They got to go back and fucking fix that shit. And it's not as easy as going, oh yeah, this guy is the one that fucked up. No, because it could be how this code is interacting with this code, is interacting with this code. So like everybody complaining about, oh yeah, like why can't the programmers just do it like do this and this and this? It's like, it's not that easy to program it.
Yeah, because the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing.
Yeah. And even if the left hand knows what the right hand's doing, like even if you put it together, there are still things like the fingers may not work properly.
Oh, like, exactly. Yes.
So that's why it's like, if you have 4 programmers doing it, one person's code jacks up. That's one thing, but you don't know if that one person's code is jacking up another person's code, or if that code is messing up that one. So you got to go back and test all of it. And for some reason, people think programming is easy as shit. For whatever reason, I don't know why, or a good handful of a-holes think that programming is easy. So, like, and a lot of the people in the comments that I've read are like, okay, if you think it's easy, why don't you why don't you fix it?
Yeah.
Or go work for the company if it's that easy.
Make a patch. I mean, like no one can. Even for their own apps, they can't.
Because the only one that I read that I thought was actually really interesting, I think it was for Fallout New Vegas. It was a group of like, I think 7 or 8 guys. It took them like 8 years, but they did the Into the Wilderness expansion.
Yeah.
Into the Wilderness expansion. That was 8 guys, and that was like, taking the source code and doing everything for the game. So it was everybody said it was amazing. It was fully fledged out, but it took 8 years to do that. And that's with 8 guys, and that were 8 people, and that's doing like the characters, that's doing the story, that's doing the voices, everything. And that took them 8 years, like, or longer. And like, and they released it, and it was pretty much a free thing that they gave to the fans of the game, to Fallout New Vegas. And because if you really like the game, and you want to play longer, they added a lot more content to the game. But this was just guys that were fans of the game wanting to do it themselves, and even then, to be able to do something like that, it took them 8 to 10 years. Whereas like, a lot of people think a simple fix, oh, the loot drop isn't working well, So why don't you just do this? Because that's not one line of code that determines the loot drop.
Yeah,
Loot
that's literally
drops
like
is-
4 million.
Yeah, loot
That will
drops
break
is a lot of
everything
factors.
else.
Like
Yeah.
it really baffles me at how people can assume these things. It's just like, yeah, it's so easy. Like, anybody can do it. No, if it was so easy, a fucking monkey could do it. But they don't.
If that was true, we would all be creating apps. We would all be creating patches. I mean, like just like Doki Doki Literature Club. This guy was doing patches for Smash Brothers, which are like mind-breakingly confusing.
Yeah,
How many variables? How many other things are you doing? And his side time, Doki Doki Literature Club. That's what he did.
yeah. But
And he took all those bugs and turned them into features and highlighted them.
yeah, but see, that's the thing. It's
Crazy.
like, but he went through all of it himself. He figured out all of it, and he
Yeah,
made.
that's a one-man team.
Yeah,
You're talking
and he-
about a 10-man team that can't even pull it off.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, yeah, exactly. It blows my mind too. Like,
It's just people are just fucking selfish, and then they don't realize it's like. And then everybody also, the same thing. Going back to, of course, releasing the game, if it's kind of buggy, you're still paying for a full release game. Technically,
Yes.
you are getting what you're paying for. It may not be like with Outriders. That was one of the main things. I want a refund because of the fact that the game wasn't fully working. But at the same time, a lot of people were saying, like, you don't have to play online, because the online aspect was fucked, and that was one reason. That was a main reason a lot of people picked it up, was the online part to play with
oh
your friends.
yes. I did that on stream.
Yeah,
Like
and
before,
where we got
before I knew he had 2 screen names. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's like,
yeah,
let's
where
do
we
this.
where we got fucked up and
Yeah.
we couldn't connect. So that kind of shit, of course, happens. But the single player experience you could still play. So in a sense, it was still a full game. You still got your
Yes.
money's worth from the full game. It's just there are aspects of it that tie on to it that make the game better. So people were complaining that they went through the whole game and but they want to play with their friends, but they want their money back. It's like, you already played through the whole fucking game. You went through everything. The only reason you're bitching is because the multiplayer side is broken, and that's like a different aspect from the story. Like, of course, you can do multiplayer. You can do multiplayer story, but it doesn't. Like, having more people doesn't take away the experience of the story. Like,
Exactly. I mean, like, if you walk into a cinema and like you walk into a movie theater, you buy a ticket for a movie, fucking sucks. Are they gonna refund your money? No, not. You paid for the experience. You paid for the movie experience. You paid for all that stuff. If you didn't like it, tough shit.
yeah, because again, it wasn't the game breaking side. Like, there was some game breaking stuff as far as losing inventory and things like that. Yeah.
Oh God, did you experience that?
No, that's why I said I never had any of the bugs, besides the
Okay.
multiplayer part where we like the crossplay was a little fucked up. But like, still playing PC to PC was still fine. Like, there was still like heavier lag spikes and disconnects.
Okay.
But it was still able to play. But like, I can understand the whole thing with Cyberpunk issuing the refunds, because the game, like, in a sense, was complete, but you couldn't potentially get through the whole game without hitting those game breaking bugs. So again, I can understand CD Projekt Red's side going, okay, yeah, we fucked up, we'll issue refunds, but like, if you don't want the game, we'll issue the refunds, but if you want to keep the game, give us time, give us
Okay.
a little
Yeah.
bit of time. And
Makes sense.
then they fixed it. They were able to fix a lot of the stuff, which is why, like, Sony put it back on the PS4, on the PSN and stuff like that, because the moment all of that shit came out, they pulled it. So, like, unless you had a physical copy, you couldn't actually, or you downloaded it on day one, you couldn't actually get the game after they pulled it off of the PlayStation Store.
Wow. Yeah,
So-
they were smart enough to pull it off the market. So, but there's games like Assassin's Creed Unity that was like broken from the get-go. I mean, you just floating eyes and teeth, just
Well, see, that's the funny part.
bad.
As much as I love the Assassin's Creed series,
I haven't played
You-
that. I had downloaded it, but I
Yeah.
experienced that, and I was just like,
Unity was the only one I got. Like, I got it for like a rewards thing from my bank, for like a rewards card thing.
you
So I
got
have
for
it.
free.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I
Okay,
got it.
Okay.
I have it. I never opened it. I never played it.
Oh,
Because-
God, yeah.
Because Unity was the French Revolution one, right? if I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was the one I didn't like because they
That
changed
far into there. Yeah.
the combat system, the fact that you had multiplayer missions that you couldn't do by yourself. It was like, but what? That's the whole point of Assassin's Creed is technically, you know, you're going from
Yeah. You're
Assassin's
solo.
Creed Brotherhood,
Mhm.
like, you know, of course Ezio's trilogy to me is still like the crowning of Assassin's Creed because the trilogy was amazing. But
Oh, dude, I'm such an Assassin's Creed. Oh, I'm slurring
Like-
now. Such an Assassin's Creed fan. Like, I have like all the gauntlets and like, dude. Oh, I got the Lego ship of like Kenway and everything. Dude, I'm
all the
such a
Jackdaw and
huge
all that,
fan.
yeah. But see,
Oh, yeah,
don't get me wrong,
the Jackdaw.
I'm a huge fan of the game. Like, I think hands down my favorite one would have been Assassin's Creed Rogue, because I like that aspect that you're switching from an assassin to
Really,
a Templar.
yeah.
I fucking love
Templar
Rogue. Yeah.
that's taken down the assassins, right?
Yeah, but that at the same time, it flipped this. It kind of flipped the script because,
Oh,
like,
I haven't
normally,
played that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
so so if you never played it, I'm not going to ruin it. But like the only thing, yeah, it just kind of shows you're going to a Templar. But you know, in the whole story, it'll make sense on why. But like that was one of my favorite ones. Assassin's Creed 4, of course, Black Flag, because of the pirate aspect. Syndicate, I really liked because you could switch back and forth between Evie and Jacob. And then like Odyssey. Odyssey was fun, but it was just fucking huge, and like even Valhalla is just fucking huge.
I mean,
Like-
Odyssey, even with Origins, kind of got away from the stealth and making you feel just like I have a relic, I'm overpowered, I can wreck your shit.
See that's the part where, because it's technically preceding the actual like assassins, like the actual like group in a sense, like.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know, because, like, of course, Origins was supposed to be the start of the Brotherhood. And then, you know, like, how with...
Yeah, Bayek, dude. He's like, Bayek is erased from history because that's what he wanted. His wife is, like, the first statue.
No,
I mean,
but, like, that's honestly the whole thing where, like, technically, after they hit a certain point, like, somebody kind of did, like, a general breakdown of it. It was just, like, a fan thing. Where Bayek was technically the only true assassin because of the fact that you don't know who he is. Even
the hidden one, the true hidden one.
Later assassins, you know, of course, yeah, you'll know who who Kenway is, you'll know who the wife is and stuff like that. But that's because the people in the Brotherhood put them on that pedestal. Whereas Bayek was the true one, where it was like, we're doing this for the greater good of the world. We're doing this to make sure that the balance stays, but nobody is going to know who I am, regardless of later or not. Nobody's going to know that I was there, because that's the whole point of being a hidden one. You are hidden from everything.
Yes. Dude,
So
holy shit, we should start a podcast. God damn.
I mean, technically we could.
I mean, like,
yeah.
I mean, like, dude, that's so true. I can talk for the next half an hour about how true that is.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason why they found that because of like some crazy bitch found him and then stuck a needle in her arm and
But
did the whole genetic thing, which isn't even true now. But
yeah,
I mean,
but like because I think it was in Valhalla where you go to was it Valhalla or was it in 2? I can't remember which game it was, but there was a section where you found like different assassin statues. It was like 5 different statues.
Yes.
Like
that was Origins or
it would have had to have been past Origins because it had his wife. That's why. So it would have been
Odyssey.
It might have been
Probably
Odyssey. Well, I can't remember specifically what game it was. I remember the scene where you get into the hidden area. There's like the 5 statues of the different assassins for doing specific things.
Shrine.
Yeah,
Oh, it was beautiful.
But Bayek is not there.
Exactly.
And again, that goes back to the whole, he is the true assassin. He is the assassin that nobody knows about, because that's the point of being that's the point of the assassin. It's you're not doing it to be known. You're doing it to do it because it's something you believe in. So if you want your name out there, you're not following the creed. Like so that when I read that, I was like, that makes so much sense. And then when they brought up like that whole thing about the statues and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, Bayek wasn't there. Bayek's not anywhere within the Assassin's history because he is the hidden one.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. The epitome of all of this, and it's like it's skewed and it's ruined. Well, not necessarily ruined, but they lost sight.
They lost
What it
a
actually
good
was.
section of what the creed actually was. Like, yeah, they'll still hold a good chunk of the creed, like, you know, keeping the balance, making sure, you know, it doesn't tip the scales and stuff like that.
Yeah, nothing's permitted. Everything's allowed. You know, all that shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
So there
everything.
are certain aspects that they still follow, but the main one is we don't care. We're not doing this for praise. We're not doing this for recognition. We're not doing this for anything. We're doing this to make sure that everything stays the way it should be. And that's the part where it kind of and in a sense that's kind of where it goes into Rogue 2 as well, as it would
nice.
be.
Okay.
So
Really need a Rogue.
oh yeah, fuck, Rogue is so good.
Good. I got it on the 360. I think it's remastered. Well, not really remastered, but if you put it into the new gen Xbox, it should upscale everything, make everything great. I really need to check that one out.
And the only, well, yeah, I can. Would you mind if I give you like one spoiler?
Yeah, hell.
Just kind of in the beginning of the story, you actually meet Kenway's. It was either his, I think it was his son, or his grandkid.
Okay, Kenway's son. Okay, so Hatham gave way to Kenway, which gave way into the next gen.
Because it was either his son or his grandkid of Kenway, but his kid or his grandkid is actually a Templar in the game.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Did they talk about how they went away from like the Creed to like the Templar side? I mean, it wasn't.
they kind of did, yeah, but it was like, but it was more of the fact that he didn't know, in a sense that.
He was naive to it.
Yeah, because you figure being Edward Kenway, or the whole thing was, you know, he was a famed pirate, right?
Yep.
Nothing about the Creed because, you know, he's a pirate. What difference does it make about the Creed or anything like that? But he was known as a pirate, and I think in his mind, he was trying to get away from that whole pirate thing, and he was going like the redcoats. He was doing the more, you know, I'm for England kind of thing. Versus, yeah, you know, I want free life and blah 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 on the sea and whatever. So that, in a sense, it just so happened that the Templars were in that aspect of, you know, we want control over everything, whereas the Assassins were, you know, we just want everybody to be free to do what they want because that's how the world should be. There are checks and balances. So in a sense, he had no for me, it felt like he had no idea that Edward was an actual assassin because he was just looking at it from the aspect of he's just a pirate. And the same thing, technically, I think he knows he's a Templar, but at the same time, he feels like he's not, as it would be.
That duality.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super huge. I mean, just like in Assassin's Creed, the Native American guy.
Assassin's Creed 3, yeah.
Yes. What the hell was his name?
I can't remember. I actually have 3. I never played it.
Hatham's child. Wasn't it Hatham's child?
Let's take a quick gander here.
Don't cheat.
Honestly, I never played 3. That was the one thing. I actually never played 3.
The Civil War one?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's beautiful. That's the first time that you have ships and ooh.
Connor.
Play it. Connor O something or no, that's an Irish name. Connor. Like he was stuck right in the middle. I mean, there's the Native American side, and then there's like the Hatham side, I guess the Redcoat British side, just clashing together, and that duality just it really made you think. I mean, chaos or order, you know? I mean,
yeah. So I think with this one, I think
I
Connor
say, like,
was the son.
Was it Connor? Was that even the right name?
Connor was in 3. Because this is directly
Native
from
American
Ubisoft.
dude, right?
Yeah, but the story is the Connor, the warrior son of a Native American mother and a British father.
Yes, the British father is Headway.
Yeah. And then in Rogue, you're playing a Irish dude, Shay Cormac. Oh no, not Irish, Scottish. But super fun. I fucking loved it because it was actually it's supposed to take place simultaneously with 4. That's why.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's why the games came out roughly about the same time, but the storyline, like the continuity of it, it's supposed to be around the like it's not taking place throughout Kenway's whole thing. It's supposed to be like closer to the end of Kenway's story, and then that's where Shay comes in, and then it runs kind of concurrently with his story, with the end of Stuff's story. But was it his son? It might have been his son then. That was I think it was Hatham. That was the Templar, which is why you meet. Yeah, which is why it's super fucking interesting, right? You go from when you look at it as a whole, you have Edward, who's an assassin. You have Hatham, who's a Templar, and then you have Connor, who goes back to an assassin.
He's playing both sides almost.
Yeah, that family. Well, see, I think Kenway's line in itself follows what I would say they follow their own version of the creed because it's just do what you think is right. There's no right way to do it. It's how you think it's right.
Yeah, the Pirates Creed. Yeah.
So I think that got instilled into Hatham and Connor, and in that sense, it was just do what you think is right. And it wasn't the fact that you're an assassin, you're a Templar. It was this makes sense to what I believe in. I'm gonna do this. So it was
but also they're losing track of the Isu. I mean, like they have little hints here and there, but I mean the real root of this whole thing was the whole like. I almost feel like it almost borderline Ancient Aliens thing. I mean, like. It is really hard to describe what the real Isu and the whole lineage and everything else, how it played out, because they're really smart at not giving you all the details.
Yeah, but I would say from that aspect, it was like, of course, it's hard to tie it in, especially with the fact that you're trying to put so much lore into each type of game, so you're not giving away too much, but you're not giving too little. As it would be, so I think that's where for Ubisoft, that's a whole thing where it's a little bit harder, where they got to figure out where to put stuff in where it makes sense, versus we're just gonna kind of throw some stuff in and it works, sort of. So that's why I think they're kind of like, especially like Valhalla and stuff like that. It's a little weird.
Yeah, just like Origins was the whole like the Egyptian mythology, and then that bleeds into like. Odyssey with Greek mythology kind of thing, where like they all kind of have the same vibe, the same message, I guess. But I guess each god is called something different.
Yeah.
And then you still have Juno, which is still the moon and all other kind of crazy crap. But it's still called the same thing throughout the ages, just different names.
But see, like,
which turns out to be an AI, which turns out to be like Odyssey status, and like.
Yeah.
I mean, I played the female version. The crazy bitch is still alive in a business suit holding a spear.
That was because that was the whole thing with because it was the staff of Artemis. That's why.
Yes.
That's why because technically Socrates, I think it was Socrates.
They found ancient Isu artifacts.
Yeah. And like it got passed on to Cassandra, and then Cassandra passed it on to what's her face. I can't remember her name.
To whatever. Yeah.
Whatever the protagonist of the story is. But yeah, so like, but that's the whole thing where it's passing on the knowledge, passing on the creed to the next set. So in a sense, it's kind of still continuing the lineage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like of course, you look at Abstergo. Yeah, Abstergo is going to be the Templars, just in terms of how they painted it. Abstergos are going to be the
course.
Templars, and then everybody else is going to be the Assassins. But at the same time as well, you could actually flip it and be like, what everybody thinks are the Assassins are actually the Templars, and what Abstergo is technically Abstergo could be the Assassins, as it would be, if you kind of look at it at a different angle. It just depends on what angle you look at it, right?
Ooh, yeah. So it's like whoever has power at the time will twist whatever it is at the time.
Yeah.
So it's straight up video game politics.
Yeah. So you could look at it.
Templars and Assassins. It's like you can even translate that to Democrats and fucking Republicans. It doesn't matter what you label it. It will always be that same.
Yeah.
That same front.
Yeah. So that's why, because if I look at it from the outside standpoint, Abstergo is trying to find all the artifacts to, it not necessarily to even control the artifacts, to make sure it doesn't.
They just want to know.
Yeah.
They want to know.
It's for knowledge, and it's also to make sure that it doesn't get misused. That's the angle they're going for. But again, that could be an entirely, they're saying one thing and doing another. But by that standpoint, they're technically the Assassins by doing, we just want the knowledge. We want to make sure these don't fall into the wrong hands by what they're saying at the forefront. So they could be Assassins, and then everybody else who's trying to make sure they get the pieces are the Templars, like Cassandra, like Valhalla, everything like that. So you could look at it that way. But at the same time, that could just be the forefront of it, where they're saying one thing but doing another. So what they're trying to portray themselves as are the Assassins, but in actuality they are the Templar side.
It's all perspective. It's really all perspective, man.
So that's why, who's to say, was especially with Assassin's Creed Rogue. To me, Shay was true to what the assassin was in the way of the Creed. He may have joined the Templars, but he was I think one of the few that literally was he was walking that middle line between a Templar and assassin. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the whole, if you want to Star Wars this, it's kind of what Rey's doing with the yellow lightsaber.
Yeah, kind of thing. Well, it's kind of like if you kind of think about it, it's the Grey Order.
Yes.
If you read about
I'm sorry. That's what I meant. I mean, it's the neutral. Yeah. It's not plus. It's not minus. It is balance.
Yeah. So you're not fully an assassin. You're not fully a Templar. You're walking that line where everything makes sense, where both sides are wrong, but you're still following the teachings on both ends. So, that in a I mean, fuck yeah, I think we should do a podcast about Assassin's Creed, because I can fucking talk about this the whole time.
That's just one topic. I mean, we can go off for days.
Fuck, we've been going for the last 45 minutes regarding this whole thing.
Oh no, shit, really?
Yeah, it's a 10. It should be 10 o'clock for you.
I'm at like 6:40 now.
Okay,
time.
Yeah, we should call this one, and
Dude, but holy shit, this planet is see that I really think we should explore this a little bit more.
Oh, I'm down for that. Fuck.
Hell yeah. Sweet.
Because I mean, I know you do your podcast with your band and stuff like that, and you guys talk about all random stuff too.
Look,
so,
we do it on Sundays. Be a guest. I would love to have you on.
Yeah, depending on topics, I can kind of give a lot of insight. If it's video games, among other things, comics.
Well, normally it's 3 topics. It's something with pop culture. It can be a movie, a game, anything that's trending, whatever. And then there's music, whatever you're listening to, what are you into, what draws you to this, what draws you to that. And then the third always comes back to beer, because our drummer is an amazing brewer, and we almost get a beer lesson every Sunday. It's why does this taste bad? Oh, because there's something called cahubulums, what I just learned about. I didn't know that was a word. Well, I mean, there's crazy shit.
that might be the only aspect where, because I'm not a drinker really. So.
Oh, you don't have to be.
But yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to learn. But yeah, definitely. I mean, if you want, just let me know. If they're cool with it, I'd be down.
Hell yeah. Dude, yeah, they'll be cool with it. Just
to get different perspectives on stuff. But yeah, I think if you're doing 3 topics, like if we get into video games, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to kind of switch a little bit because I can literally talk about this shit for fucking hours. So
Exactly. I mean, like it's not a certain topic. It's like what draws you back to a certain game. Like Mass Effect draws the same triggers as Assassin's Creed. So does Halo. They all bring back the same. Like there was something else beforehand that brings back certain shit that you don't know about, but now you're gonna learn about it and why they were defeated, or
yeah, it's
whatever it may
pretty much
be.
supposed to like round out the whole story as it would be.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Like in Assassin's Creed Origin, when I went under the Sphinx, I almost cried. I'm like, I knew this chamber existed. This was talked about for years,
Yep.
and no one would talk about it. And
Yeah.
now here I am, trying to figure out all these gods, and like I'm going to the other things, and like this verified everything I ever thought. But does it? No. It just touches on it in your own world.
Yep. Pretty much.
So I mean, like you're not necessarily crazy, but other people are thinking the same thing that you're thinking of, which opened a door for me. It's like, dude, there are other like-minded people that love the game that still think the same thing. I
Yeah.
mean, that meant the world to me.
But at the beginning with any game, it's like all a matter of perspective, though, right? Especially
Oh, yeah,
what we
exactly,
just explained
exactly.
with the
And
Templars
that-
and
And
Assassins.
that was my people still acknowledge my narrow ass. Like I'm not that educated in all these different things, but my conspiracy theory that I made up in my head has maybe a little bit of merit because someone else blogged about it, someone else talked about it because of this game.
Yep.
I mean, it was
So-
like, what? Like that, yeah, mind opener. Just all these other perspectives just kind of bled into everything else. I'm like, okay, I can accept this. I can accept this. Like things I were blind to before. I'm like, okay, there's merit because you kind of heard out my weird ass Assassin's Creed origins. Like everything's like the actual gods and all that kind of stuff back then were like genetically modified weird shit. I'm like, okay, no one ever thought about that, but they put it into an actual game,
Yeah,
which made people talk about it.
because yeah, honestly, when you think about it, if you look at the previous Assassin's Creeds, it was you're following, in a sense, a form of like a god you believe in, or something that you believe
Yes.
in. It may not necessarily be a god, but the creed itself, because you believe in the creed, it could be considered like a godly commandment, as it would be.
Mhm.
So
That protected technology of the apples, of the spears, of whatever whatever technology it may be. Maybe that could explain a little bit of the fuzz of religion. Maybe not. Maybe it's all bullshit. Who knows? But it makes a conversation, which
Yep.
I absolutely love.
because it's about it's just about perspective. It's about, I think that's the one thing that I think is lost on a lot of people is the fact that everybody can have differing opinions, and you have to come to realization that you could be correct, the other person could be correct, neither of you could be correct. It's just
Yes.
yeah, it literally just comes down to like what you believe in as a whole. Like what I
Oh,
believe
yeah.
in will differ from you, but maybe your perspective might change what I think of it, and I might look at it in a different way, things like that. But that's, I think, is just lost in general with people nowadays, is the fact that everybody's jumping to the extremes now, where it's like, oh, like going back to the Democrat Republican thing, oh, you're like super far left, you're super far right. It's like, no, I believe in the ideologies behind certain things. I'll vote this way because it makes sense to me. You may not have
Yes.
voted this way because it doesn't make sense to you. And we can have differing opinions, and we can still agree on things, but we're at that point in time now, especially in the US, where it's like there's no real agreements anymore. It's like, okay, the moment you're labeled far left or far right, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like there's no middle ground anywhere. It's just like, oh, you're going to the extreme. That's it. There's no middle ground on anything. It's just extremes. And
Yep.
that's where I think
Assassins and Templars, man.
I see.
I mean,
It makes them sound cooler than what they should be, to be honest. So let's just leave it as the
but
elephant
who's
and the
who?
jackass. We
but
can
who's
just
who?
yeah, but again,
No one knows.
it still sounds cool in general. I don't want to label either party an assassin or a Templar. I would just
Exactly, dude. You get it.
but because again, to me, it just sounds way too cool, and I don't want that for the parties. They will just be forever known as either the elephant or the jackass. That's all it is, and the elephant and the jackass always flip sides regardless. So
Oh yeah, it just depends who's in office. That's all that really matters.
pretty
Just-
much.
That's it.
See, we should
God
talk about this
damn.
kind of shit when we're playing too.
Dude, I didn't even expect this kind of in-depth conversation after like what 45 minutes, an hour after we signed off from the game.
Pretty
God
much.
Damn.
We should do it just chatting.
Yeah, dude, I'm literally on the just chatting screen where there's a face here, and
Well,
I'm
for
just
mine,
surprised the
'cause-
dogs haven't come in yet.
I mean, for mine, because I don't actually put myself on camera. So, I mean,
Oh yeah, that's the weird thing about a band. You have to put yourself out there 24/7, all the time. So like, if I fart purple, everyone's gonna know.
well, I mean, the only reason I wasn't doing it in the beginning, especially because my friend that I kind of wanted to do this with me, he doesn't want to be like, he doesn't really want to be famous or like well known. So if like just in case like our YouTube stuff blew up, our streaming stuff blew up, like he didn't want people to know who he was. So
Oh, okay.
the only
Oh,
reason,
well, I get that.
yeah, but the only way he said he'd go on cam is if he wore a mask.
I get that.
Yeah, just,
get that.
So it's kind of like Daft Punk, where like anybody can play the persona, anybody can
Yeah,
technically be
yeah.
Daft Punk. We just because we don't know who the hell is behind the mask. It's literally we know the mask. That's it. So anybody
Dude,
can be it.
yeah, I totally get that. Because like Second Player Score is an organization, it's a band. It's not just me. There's 3 other dudes involved into this. Like if I wanted to stream under my own name, it would be Captain Buzzkill, whatever it may be, whatever. But now I need to be conscious of my views on political things. Like they don't clash, but I can't just say like F this or F that because I speak for 2 other dudes.
Yep, because you're representing the
So-
brand. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that challenge and bringing out the music and everything else in there, yeah, I totally understand that. It's a weird kind of tightrope walk that you're constantly playing. I can say one thing that would just ruin the entire label, and I'm just like, dude, I don't even know what that could be, but I can.
Yeah. It can just happen out of the blue, where it just like, of course. So
Mhm. Especially because we all love to drink, and that's like playing with fire. Like right now, I think I'm like 2 beers in and 1 shot, and I'm pretty good. I'm not gonna say like F this, F that, like nothing racist unless it's like I'm teasing myself about being Asian. But even then, if I do like the Asian accent, like
yeah.
there's someone else in the band that isn't, and that can be totally bad.
Yeah, it could be like it could be taken the wrong way and da 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 da, and and
Exactly.
with the cancel culture today now, it's like so dumb.
Yeah, I should be like, "Oh no, Deska," and that's it. That's it. Or just talk like a moke and be like, "What you fucker, Nalo bounce," and that's it. Done.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing too. Yeah, most people don't
You're
look at.
appropriating my culture. Oh, you're appropriating my culture. Bah, that's the Nalo bounce. You can't do that. Am I stupid? Am I not? That's how we fight. I'm like, dude, I saw these fights at 7-Eleven parking lots. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was there.
It's more like the because most people don't look at the upbringing. They just look at what the person looks like and what they think they're like, and they just go off of that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really. It's not a matter of figuring out the upbringing, figuring out where they're from, how they got to where they are, things like that. It's more, you're famous, you said something stupid, or you said something stupid in the past, and we got to cancel you now. So that was like the whole thing with Eminem.
Yeah.
People trying to cancel Eminem for some of his music before, like this whole cancel culture bullshit. And it's like you can't stop him because one, that's how he was back then. He's speaking the truth. He's not like, he's not a total 180 from how he is when he's like rapping and stuff like that. That's how he grew up. Like that's his personal experiences. And like even like, trying to cancel Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. It's like,
Oh my god, it's a timestamp. That's all it was. It was
yeah,
a timestamp.
but it
Because
was,
like he's a dude playing a dude playing a dude. If you look at even on Galaxy Quest,
yeah,
the guy that played Monk, the supposedly Asian guy, he's like, dude, I'm not gonna do that.
yeah,
I can't play an Asian dude, but I can play a guy trying to play this guy,
yeah.
which
But
is exactly Tropic Thunder.
but see, that's the whole thing where it's like, a lot of people are looking at it now. It's like, oh yeah, we got to cancel Robert Downey Jr. It's like, no, that was the whole satire for his character. That was the point of his character. It was to bring to light shit like this happens in a comedic fashion, but
Yes,
it brings
and
to light.
it.
Yeah,
He addressed it. There's a giant monologue, which is beautiful and so fucking funny.
Yeah,
and then
but-
he addressed it.
but again, they're not looking at the part after the fact. They're not looking at the part as a whole. They're looking at it as all they're seeing is Robert Downey Jr. blackfacing it. Even though they explain in the movie, oh, he's doing a controversial pigmentation thing so he can play this character, because that's how his character as an actor does it. And it's wrong.
Which
And-
is the point of the
Yeah.
character.
But
Which is
they
the
don't-
total
yeah.
point of the character.
but they don't get that. And it was the same thing with like Eminem's whole thing, where like, remember when everybody was coming after him, like the parents wanted to stop his music and shit like that.
oh,
but he was
yeah.
like,
oh yeah.
and his whole explanation in one of his interviews was, I can say, oh, I'm gonna kidnap my wife, kill her, throw her in the trunk, and then in the next line say, or in the next verse, that's not cool. I was joking. Don't do that. That's not kosher. They're not gonna look at everything past that or anything before that. They're just looking at that one specific section because they don't like it. So, cancel culture, in a way, it's really narrowing the view. It's narrowing the views of people because they're not looking at everything as a whole. They're just looking at that one part they don't like, and that's what they're zooming in on. And that's the problem with it, where, like,
Truth. Fucking truth.
it's just
right
like,
there.
my
man.
God, this is. But yes, we can keep going on. But yeah, we should cut this, otherwise we're gonna keep going.
Oh, shit, we're almost at 7 hours now, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn. Dude, like, I would love to retouch on all of these topics. Yeah, let's do this sometime soon.
Well, I'm done. I usually will stream Thursdays and Saturdays, but I mean, if you're down to stream tomorrow, we can just do something like this too.
Wait, give me like 2 seconds. I think my dog is like crapping in the. Oh my god, he's pooping in the hallway.
Run! But these are the type of topics we can get into heavily. But yeah, I think once he gets back, we're gonna probably end the stream there. So I do want to thank everybody for chilling in the room. Daddy-O's for the resub. DC server for small streamers. First time I think I've seen you in here. I think you might. I'm not too sure if you're a bot or not, but thanks for chilling in the room. Co Valley, Hofstadters, for chilling in the room with me. Hopefully, you enjoyed the stream. You even enjoyed this hour-long talk after the fact about the different views, all the theories behind Assassin's Creed, things like that. I'm always down to like have discussions like this, and I kind of enjoy this kind of stuff. But yeah, if anything, be sure to check out also my YouTube channel.
Caught it.
Nice.
Paper towel catch. Oh my god, I got it before it hit the carpet. That's perfect.
Nice.
Oh my god.
But yeah, let's cut the stream before we start going into more shit, and then your dogs take more shit. So
Well, they're empty now. But I totally get you, man. But dude, we should talk about this shit more. God damn.
like, yeah, I mean, if you're, well, I mean,
I'm
I
totally
usually
down.
Yeah, I usually don't stream on Wednesdays, but I'm down to stream tomorrow too if you want to stream. I mean, like, we could start off on the whole topics and touch on everything and just have the gameplay going in the back.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, there's like a lot of downtime between a lot of games. Dude, whatever it may be, I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah, so I'm actually down to if you want to stream tomorrow, if you want to do this again.
Cool. Oh wait, I'll message you and we'll figure out a date. Oh, not a date, a time, I guess, and then yeah, let's do this again. This
Yeah.
is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm down. All right, so I think that'll round out the stream for both of us. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm Diosis Manifest. You can check me out on Twitch, and of course, if you're watching his stream, Second Player Score. If you're on my stream, check out Second Player Score as well. You know, give us support. No, just, if you
Yes,
like,
give us all your monies. I wanted to do this for like, to pay the bills, so you can make it happen. Give us the biddies.
oh yeah, just if you enjoy the content, just follow, subscribe, whatever, anything, like even as small as like a bit, it's still amazing because
Oh,
you're
yeah,
showing
exactly.
support to the streamers. So
Yeah, just like Killer Angst, dude. Like he dropped this guy dropped almost freaking like almost 1,000 biddies on our stream tonight, like literally tonight.
oh,
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 71, 80, 97. God, oh, 3 short.
almost 100.
I don't want to say 3 short. It almost sounds like he didn't do. I'm just so grateful. Oh my god, I'm just so grateful.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
And
yeah, dude. Actually, people want to hear this. That's proof in the pudding right there.
pretty much. And it may not even, if they don't even enjoy the game, but they enjoy the conversation. That's also another thing too. So yeah,
Oh, totally. It's not like we get on like a soapbox that's like offensive. It's
yeah, and if the people in chat want to chime in too, don't hesitate to, because
oh, I would love that.
it's
Any
always-
kind of
it's
conversation,
always-
I would
it's
love
always
that.
great. All right, yeah, but let's round this out before we start rattling on again.
Exactly.
So yeah, well,
All right, man.
definitely tomorrow. Not too sure on the time, but we'll tweet it out. We'll put it on Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. We'll get it out to everybody, and then we'll just see what happens.
Absolutely, man. Okay, amazing amazing stream, my friend. Dude, dude, I want to do this every day. This is
This is the kind of
nuts.
stuff that we got to do.
I know, dude. Shit. I mean, imagine how many things we can catch up from high school, or even from middle school. You mean like who's like, yeah, dude. We have so many things to catch up on.
And fuck, we could even just sit in Discord and even be streaming our own
just
separate
chatting?
stuff and just chat.
Yeah.
So you could,
totally.
if you want to play something different, you can play something. I'll play something different, and we just sit and just talk.
Yeah, no, I'll just like rip on like, dude, why are you sucking? Like,
Yes.
you're better than this. I played with you.
That's why we can just do random stuff like that too. We don't necessarily have to even play the same fucking game. So
Oh yeah, totally. Because there's a lot of like board game stuff I want to do. There's a ton of shit I want to do. Why don't you just come out to Oregon? Why don't you just come out to Portland, Oregon, and just hang out?
because
Even-
then I have to fly out there, and
COVID,
it's,
yeah, I know.
it's still
I know.
within the U.S. and it's still a lot of stupid.
Yeah, like honestly, I think I might be making a trip back to the islands in August. I mean, like things are kind of getting weird family wise, so like I gotta like make sure no one's dying, and then well, not like literally dying, just like socially dying kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. If that happens, you'll be the first to know.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. Just like meet up, hang out. We can even fucking like just stream at my house too. Granted, I'm not gonna have
Oh,
a
yeah,
camera,
yeah.
but just because
Oh no, cameras don't matter. Cameras do not matter. They just capture facial expression, reaction. That's the only reason why I do it.
yeah, and of course, like I think I would probably get a little bit more people coming to the streams if I showed myself, because I think more people like seeing who they're interacting with. That was one of the things I read a lot about. But that's another topic for another time. We can cover that later.
Oh, totally. See, that's another soapbox.
But yes. Okay, let's round this up before we keep babbling. We keep babbling, and we're
Yes, sir.
we gotta round
yes,
this up.
sir.
So you
It's
can
like those
eat.
people that are like, goodbye. You say goodbye. No, you say goodbye. No, you say goodbye.
Yeah, fuck that. Just round it up, like, so you can eat and I can eat and do the rest of the shit I got to do today.
Right on, bro. Dude, oh god. So much fun hanging out with
yes.
DM constantly. Dude. Yeah, we're gonna make something happen. More than just a stream. We're gonna make this happen.
Hell yes.
Alright, so going down the list. Killer Inks. My god, almost 90. What did we say? 96, 97?
It's 97?
I'm gonna call that 1,000. That's like $10 in biddies in like just what, like half an hour? My god.
Something
you
like that.
madman. You madman. Alright, and then thank you so much for all the random follows.
Here, round it out.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
There you go, round it out.
That's like $10 in the tip jar, man. Dude, I cannot believe that. Thank you so much.
Just round it out. Might as well make it an even 100.
Awesome. Okay, so we got Ali from hanging out from the Deep Stranded streams. My god, there's so many people here. DeMatton, oh my god, for like almost like 2 hours worth of conversation. Punky's mixtape. Actually, yeah, you should follow Punky's mixtape. I'm gonna drop this link one more time because he's a punk rock variety show.
Nice.
Which is what kind of got us on Twitch in the first place. Because he contacted us and be like, hey, I do this show. We have a whole bunch of things going on. I mean, he's trying to do like the Twitch Saturday Night Live sketch comedy, which is live, also with like different bands, always supporting different bands from all over the world. Like this is kind of what got me in Twitch in the first place. So there we go. There's that link. Thank you so much for hanging out. And you know what? I think that's it for tonight.
Yep.
That is it for tonight. So thank you once again, DM, one more time.
Always,
Brother from
always fun.
7th grade. My god.
Always
We can
fun.
start a low brass ska band. We should do it.
Fuck, I gotta go get a brass instrument again then.
Well, come over here. I got my dad's old trombone. And I'm sure, like, a tuba. People are throwing that out on Craigslist constantly. 851. That's all it is, man. 851.
Well, yeah, maybe. I think we'll iron something out. Maybe get something going in the future. See what happens.
Oh god, yeah. I have tons of stories about that too. Oh my god.
Well, we'll get into that hopefully tomorrow.
We will next time.
Hopefully
all right,
tomorrow,
man.
if not next time. Yeah, definitely. Shoot.
All right, homie. Great stream. Thank you so much. Love you, bro. You're a great guy. Follow DM at all times. Absolutely at all times. Do it.
Do it.
All right. Peace out. Here's the outro music.